Hi and welcome back. I'm John Knight at the Community Kitchen at Food Bank of the Rockies. We're continuing on our summer series of videos. I'm going to dive into one of my favorite side dishes to bring when I've ever been invited to a potluck. This is just going to be a cucumber summer salad. And we're going to start off with our cucumbers. When I'm cutting a cucumber, the first thing I do, we know, is it rolls. I want it to be safe, so I'm going to take it, I'm just going to cut it in half. We can talk about the inside right now. So these are a seedless cucumber. These smaller ones you can buy that don't have a lot of the big seed pockets, so I don't need to scrape that out. But if I was buying any of the bigger guys, right, you buy the big ones that are wrapped in plastic, they're called English cucumbers, you're gonna wanna cut it in half. You grab a spoon and you just scrape the center out, and that gets all those seeds out. When I'm cutting, the biggest thing is to make sure my fingers are safe, right? So if I have a knife back here, I don't wanna have my fingers flat on anything. This is dangerous like that. I wanna have my fingers curled. I want to have my thumb, instead of being up here like everyone seems to like to do, I want to have it behind my fingers. I don't want to be, looking for a movie and just chopping like crazy like on some TV show. We're going to keep the knife touching the table and we're going to roll forward and through it. And if my knife is sharp, which it should be, it's going to be very safe and it's going to cut on its own. So we're going to do that for all of these cucumbers. So now you got a bowl full of cucumbers. The bowl, just kind of cut through those really quickly, and this is our base for our salad. The next one I'm gonna go for is my bell pepper. So the bell pepper has a lot of flesh on it in different ways, right? So you find it kind of difficult to cut. I like to just cut it down into 4 chunks, right? I can go through here, I can just cut down the side, keep cutting, and I cut the walls off. So now I've got the 4 walls that are there, and I have a good base. I'm gonna cut that base off and use that. If I want to, I can come in here and I can nick these down now. And I've gotten the most I probably can out of this. The rest of this is going to be a little bit bitter. It's going to not taste as good. So this part, I'm not going to use. I want to get in here carefully and cut out this little membrane that I have. The texture is really spongy. It's not what I'm going for. So I'm going to come down this way, cut on this side, and down. Now, some people like to put it this way and try and cut through the skin. I find the skin waxy. So if you don't have a really sharp knife, you're going to end up putting pressure. We don't want to have to force a knife through anything. That's when it gets dangerous. So if I flip it over and put the waxy part down, it's going to enter the product real easy and give me a cut that's a lot easier for me to get through. So now these, I'm going to cut in half. So now if I pull out one of those cucumbers, there we go. Somewhat uniform. It doesn't have to be exact, obviously. I'm not going to stress about that. I mean, don't need to be overly neurotic or anything, but I do want to make sure that they work together. We're going to move on to my onion here, and I don't need a lot of it. I'm going to get into this onion right now. You may recognize it. This was the leftover onion from the burger video that we had, because you're going to utilize it in a bunch of different ways. So with this, I'm going to have a little bit of a slice on it. So I want to have these kind of very, very small. So I put this way. I cut it in half. So I have my half moon going this way. The middle is down. And I'm going to cut this way along it. So this one, you'll find me actually am pulling my knife up off. I'm going to try and make these pretty thin. Onions are pretty potent flavor, so I want it to be thin. I really am crying over here. I'm gonna step, Next, I have all my cherry tomatoes here. And I'm gonna take these guys, I just wanna split them in half. Nothing crazy. I wanna just open them up a little bit though, because biting into a whole tomato like that is a little bit rough, but also I want it to be able to fold into the salad, be picked up and easily with a fork. Whenever I'm making anything, I wanna make sure that how it's being eaten is thought of, right? I'm gonna take my herbs that I have. This is a lot, I just grabbed a bunch. I'm gonna grab a good healthy amount of the herbs that I have and really throw that on. So I have a small layer on top, and that's kind of what I'm looking for, right? And so this kind of idea that we have a good layer of herbs on top of all of this is flavor, this is aromatic. You're gonna smell this while you're eating it too. This is gonna be something that's just a little bit different, go a little bit heavy. Now I've got my Italian dressing that I'm going to throw on just a little bit. I want it to be kind of just coating it, and then stir this through. And now you can see that the herbs are on everything. I've got dressing on everything. I'm going to take my lemon juice and just give it a squeeze over it. Adding acidity into any dish makes it taste more like itself, right? Acidity cleans your mouth out. So whatever flavors you were eating before gets cleaned out and you can taste the food better. The dressing, I find, usually has enough salt. Give it a taste. If you want to add a little more salt, you want to add a little more herbs, this is when you just grab it, taste a little bit, and you call that a day. This is going to be nice and bright and fresh and be refreshing as you eat it too. So this is something that we love to put out on those kind of bright sunny days, and it will hold up beautifully. This is also something that me in the kitchen here, we do send out in our kids' meals. We do send out to the people that we are feeding out of the community kitchen here at Food Bank of the Rockies, and it's always a smash hit. So thank you so much for joining us. I can't wait to see you at the next video of our summer cooking series. Thank you.